Welcome. This is the 800% Club. We have a lot to cover today, so we're going to dive right in. I recently came from one of our 800% Elite Automotive Club retreats. It was amazing to spend some time with our dealers from all around the country. We gathered together in the great city of Orlando in the great state of Florida, and it was a blast, man. We rode quads in the mud, which was incredible. We shot clay pigeons, which I don't know about you, but I'm not a gun guy. I've never really done a whole lot of that. We ate some amazing meals together, which was awesome. We just got to spend a lot of time collaborating, getting together, having conversations, getting to know where everybody's at. We just spent a lot of time together, and it was really a spectacular experience. We also had Judge Graham, my friend Judge Graham. He came in, he joined us, he taught us some things, as well as Michael Cirillo came through and delivered in the clutch. And we really talked a lot about the future of automotive, what we're going to do, what moves we're going to make, why we're doing what we're doing. And of course, we had a lot of fun in the process, right? It was a great time. And there were a lot of lessons there that were learned. A lot. Great time with many lessons learned. And along the way, I realized that there was a common thread amongst all of the dealers there. And the common thread is one that I think applies to you as well, whether you were at the event or not. And that thread is that all of you, as a part of 800% Elite Auto Club, each of you have grit. Each of you understand and have resilience. You have persistence, tenacity, the ability to persevere when your back is against the wall. You are in it to win it. Now, I also realized something else about all of the dealers in this group. You all share an affinity for short-term actions and results. You're all about the now. Let's do it now. Let's get it done now. What moves can we make right now? I want the result right now, and I'm going to make a decision based on what's going on now. You all have an affinity for that, which in a lot of cases, taking action now to get a result can be beneficial. However, there's also sometimes that taking actions now based on the now, only thinking in the now, can ultimately hurt you. It can ultimately be detrimental to this idea of the infinite game. Now, from the very beginning of training as a part of the 800% Elite Automotive Club, we've talked about playing the infinite game. It's so important that we play the infinite game. What are the actions we can take now that are going to put us in a position to stay in the game later? Now, there's one more layer that we haven't talked about enough. We talked about it some at the retreat, and we've touched on it here and there. But the other layer to the infinite game is you must have a strategic exit strategy. Okay? Now that might sound counterintuitive. Infinite game, I'm going to play forever, but I have to have a strategic exit? That doesn't make sense. An exit sounds like a finish. It sounds like a done. It sounds like a finish line. So how can we play infinite and exit strategy at the same time? And we're going to get into that here today because it is challenging. It is challenging. But today we're going to dive into that, and I'm going to show you exactly how we do that. Now, before we go too deep into that, there are a couple things that I want to cover and touch on real quick. I am really excited to have partnered with Judge Graham. I have partnered with Judge Graham in some new technology that I believe is going to be a game changer for you and your teams. The technology is called Carrots Technology, and this is an opportunity for you to create a Peloton-type experience for your sales team, your service advisors, your technicians, your accounting department, your BDC, any area of your dealership, your sales managers, your finance managers. Carrots Technology is going to allow you to now create competition. It's going to allow you to create a level of visibility to everyone's performance. It's going to allow you to enhance and create an atmosphere of fun and involvement and engagement with everyone on the team. It's incredible technology. So let me show you a quick little video of what this looks like and what it's all about. And then I'll explain to you why I'm so excited to have partnered with Judge on this. Listen, people bring me ideas all the time. They bring me software all the time. They bring me strategic thoughts and ideas. And normally I'm 100% out. On this one, I'm 100% in. I think this, if I had this in my dealership at the time, we could have sold even more cars than we did during the season that I was there. So let me show you a little bit about what it looks like.
Peloton transformed stationary bikes into a multi-billion-dollar company by leveraging gamification, community, and goal tracking. Imagine if your team had the same tools to track output, compete, communicate, and recognize every daily win. Carrots Technology was built to drive performance and creates culture by empowering employees with a no training needed solution that gives you the ability to track pacing to plan, communicate, and celebrate success. And of course, we threw in carrots to make sure everyone is motivated to win. Our team of experts have studied thousands of employee incentive programs to determine what motivates them the most. Like cash, amazing vacations, hard to get sneakers, flex time, and major brand merchandise from Nike, Adidas, Apple, and Yeti, who we have partnerships with to ensure you never pay retail prices. So let's break down some of our key features. Easy to use goal forecasting tools designed to make goal setting accurate and drive incrementality. Visibility to individual performance, group leaderboards, and pacing metrics. Activity tracking to give you awareness on lead indicators. Insights into your customer reviews via our proprietary Net Promoter Score. Never miss a moment to congratulate or encourage employees via our intentional communication engine. Reward winners with unbeatable incentives that are curated and shipped on your behalf. And our technology is accessible wherever your employees work, whether that's on a mobile or desktop device, or in office with the live TV leaderboards. Plus, it requires zero training. Companies work with Carrots Technology because we deliver incremental revenue, reduced turnover, more engagement, and happier employees. To learn more about Carrots Technology, please visit us at carrotstech.com or call us today at 817-859-6904.
Ultimately, the technology is incredible, and what it's able to do for you and your dealership is absolutely phenomenal. And so I would highly suggest that you take a really strong look at it and get it in your dealership. Here is the link. We have partnered up with Judge Graham and Carrots, and in that partnership, we've been able to create a much reduced rate where it's way cheaper for each of you that are in the 800% club. It's only going to cost you $800 a month for your entire dealership, as many teams as you want to put in there. And there is so much to this technology, and it's continuing to evolve. So there's the link right there, https://link.carrottech.com/Glenn. If you use that link right there, it'll only cost you $800. It'll save you a whole lot of money. And if you have questions on that, of course, just reach out to me and let me know, okay? But check it out, man. This is a shift in the way that we do things. When I was winning at Dan Cummins, the way that I won was through my people. Simple as that. I won through my people. I focused on making sure everyone in the dealership was engaged. I was like, come Come with me. Let's go. Wake up. What do you got going on? What are your goals? What are your targets? I got everyone engaged in every way that I possibly could, right? I also made sure to create an atmosphere of connection. Everybody felt connected to the goal, connected to the mission, connected to the target, right, of exactly what we were doing, and understood what was in it for them. Then, of course, we had to have reward systems, right? I was just running typical spiffs or games or programs, whereas Carrot's technology is going to take that to a next level. It's going to take the things that we normally used to do and do them in a new and innovative way where we're not having to track it. We're not having to track it on the whiteboard. The prizes will be different. It won't always just be money. It's really incredible that we'll be able to do this. So by engaging my people, by creating connection, by having reward systems that were tailored towards them, and then, of course, having lots of fun, right? We have to have lots of fun. If it's not fun, I promise you're not going to grow. People will just continue to bang their heads against the wall. So Carrots adds a whole new level to that, gives you an opportunity to do it in a unique way. They can see everything on their phone. They can track everything on their phone. You can send them messages. You can see where everybody's at in real time, just like that. It's really phenomenal. Grab the link. I'm telling you, you'll thank me later. It's really, really, really cool stuff. Now, let's go back to looking at the infinite game. And let's get a quick refresh. It's been a little while since we've gone over the principles behind this. So let's get a quick refresh, all right? The infinite game is a combination of known and unknown players mixed with rules that are changeable, and overall the objective is to keep playing the game. That's the objective, to stay in the game, to keep perpetuating the game as long as possible. So let's talk about this first one, known and unknown players. So right now we have some known players that have moved into our market, that have disrupted the system a little bit. The Teslas, the Carvanas, so on and so forth. Those are the known players, as well as your normal competition, people that you've been playing the game with for a really long time. Now, we also have unknown players. We don't know who's going to come in next, right? Apple's talking about coming in. Google's talking about coming in. Amazon's talking about coming in. You got people like Bezos and Elon Musk that are all of a sudden building rocket ships and going into space, right? You never know who in the future. We don't know. The players of the game will continue to change, right? So we have known and unknown players. Now, we also have rules that are changeable. What am I doing here? I got to fix that. Number one and number one. Number two, rules that are changeable, right? In the infinite game, the rules are always changing. Now, I think it's safe to say that right now, especially on the backside or during a pandemic, we've noticed that the rules change, and the rules change constantly. The government's changing the rules, the laws are changing, so on and so forth. Do you have to wear a mask? Do you not have to wear a mask? Do you have to get a vaccine? Do you not have to get a vaccine? Depending on what city you're in, depending on what your state you're in, so on and so forth. The rules are always changing. So we're definitely experiencing and have the opportunity to play the infinite game, right? We have known and unknown players. We have rules that are changing all of the time. And our teams are having to adjust and adapt. They're having to pivot based on our leadership and what we tell them they need to do. So they're obviously in the mix of an infinite game as well. Now, the third part of the infinite game is that the object is to keep playing, to perpetuate the game. And that's what I really want to focus on with each of you. See, when we're playing in this now change, making decisions based on 30-day windows, we're not playing. We're thinking we're in a finite game, where a finite game has a strict set of rules, it has a strict set of players, and it has a beginning and an end. That's not the game that you're in. You are not in a finite game. We are in an infinite game. The players change, the rules change, and we want to stay in this as long as humanly possible. So check it out. The infinite game, there's 5 key components as a leader that you must have in place in order to win or to continue to grow and win in an infinite game. Your dealership must be advancing a just cause. Okay? A just cause is something bigger than selling cars. A just cause is something bigger than just making money or just making profits. A just cause is something bigger that people can tie into, that they can feel as though they are being elevated by being a part of. A just cause is what has people feel great at the end of the day for putting in the long hours, for putting in the work. A just cause is it's not an immediate reward. It's something that we continue to fight for over the long term, perpetuating the game. What is the just cause behind your dealership? Now, that just cause, we can say, well, we donate to a lot of things. We have a lot of different charities. No. It's bigger than that. For me, at Dan Cummins, the just cause was we are on a mission to eradicate the negative stigmas associated with the car business. That was the just cause. Every time you sold a car, you were working towards the just cause. You were eradicating these negative things that have been associated with our industry for 100 years. Our people were able to get behind that because it wasn't about them paying rent. It wasn't about them buying a house. It wasn't about them buying a nice car. It wasn't about them putting money in their bank account. It was about advancing something bigger, being a part of something that is shifting and disrupting in an industry. My guys and girls showed up early. My guys and girls stayed late. My guys and girls went above and beyond. They sold a car a day every single day that they were at work. Why? Because it was about something so much bigger. They saw what we were doing in the community. They understood that impact. They saw what was happening in their own lives and the lives of the people around them. They understood that impact. But even more than that, deep-seated, deep-rooted, they knew they were fighting for something bigger. And here's the thing, when it comes to a just cause is not something that can ever be solved. Ultimately, you can never reach it. We're not going to eradicate the negative stigmas associated with the car business. There's never going to come a time where every person on the planet says, oh my gosh, everything I ever thought about the car business is wrong. We're never going to get there. There's always going to be an experience. There's always going to be some way that we could have done something better. There's always going to be someone who's going to be turned off by the process that we have in place or a person that we have in place. There's always going to be a battle for us to fight. What's that for you? Oh, we're going to sell 200 cars this month. Who cares? That's not enough. That's not enough. Our friend Liza Myers-Borchis in the Carter Myers Automotive Group, they have 20 dealerships in the state of Virginia. She's part of our 800% club. They've got a just cause, man. Their just cause is that they are moving lives forward. That's the just cause. That's what they do. They move lives forward. And they will always have an opportunity to do that forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. They move the lives forward of the people in the community. They move the lives forward of the people in their dealership. They are moving lives forward through the vehicle of transportation. Make sense? The cars come last. The just cause comes first. What is the just cause for your dealership? If you're not clear on that yet, take some time to get clear on that. And we'll talk about that a little bit more here in just a second. In the infinite game, in order for you to continue to grow and thrive and evolve in an infinite game, you must build trusting teams. You must build trusting teams. Now, this is hard to do. It's hard to build a trusting team if you're just hiring reactively any warm body that shows up in your dealership at a time that you have a need. It's hard to build trusting teams if you're promoting from outside into management positions most of the time and not from inside and giving people the opportunity to grow and to excel. Now, don't get me wrong. There are some exceptions to the rule where experience is necessary, especially at some super high level positions. However, with that said, in the short term, in a finite game, there are exceptions. In the infinite game, there are not. If you know you're going to need a GM down the road somewhere, let's start training GMs now. Let's take the receptionist and start training them on what it looks like to be a GM. I know that's a huge gap. What? The receptionist, a GM? Are you crazy, Glenn? We need them to answer the phone. Yeah, I get that. They're going to have to answer the phone. They're going to have to answer the phone 1,000 times. And they're going to have to be trained on how to speak on that phone. And ultimately, you're going to have to pull them out of that position and put them in another position so they can learn how to sell a car, so they can learn how to turn a wrench, so they can learn how to answer an internet lead, so they can learn how to contract a deal, so they can learn how to call and rehash a deal with a bank, so they can learn how to lead teams, so they can learn the other side of parts departments and accounting, right? They're going to have to move through the ranks. But in the infinite game, you have all the time in the world. So if we start strategically putting them in those positions now, teaching them and educating them now from exactly where they are, then you can start to build a trusting team, people that you can trust in. The organization that I used to work for, that we grew 800% in less than 6 years, that organization is still killing it right now. They're killing it with 3 stores now. And why are they killing it? Because they have this team of people that have been there for years and years and years and years and years. People that I hired in 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018. These people that I hired, these people that I trained, these people that I poured into, that I saw them not as a salesperson, not as a receptionist, but ultimately one day a GM and a trusted partner, somebody that I could build something with. And so I poured into them every single day so that they knew they could trust me. And when your people trust you, they don't go anywhere. They listen to you, they follow you, they respect you, and they will perform for you. You and I were doing this wrong, hiring reactionally, seeking the higher positions, curating the higher positions, making sure to take time and do research at the higher positions, but just bringing in anybody in the lower positions and then just leaving them there, thinking that they're just going to stay in that spot forever and that's okay and that's enough. It's not. Not in the infinite game. You have to build a trusting team. They have to be able to trust you, and you have to be able to trust them. The third part, in order for you to be able to continue to grow and win and thrive in an infinite game, is you must study your worthy rivals. A lot of us want to sweep Carvana under the rug. Well, they just made $45 million last quarter when everybody for the last few years has said that they are going to fall apart, that they can't be profitable, that they're throwing too much money at it, they're spending too much money, they're showing a negative deficit year after year after year after year after year. So while everybody's saying they can't do it and trying to ignore them, they have moved their way into our market. They're now profitable. And if you think they had money before when they weren't making any, imagine what they're going to be able to do now that they are. Study the worthy rivals. The Elon Musk of the world, the Teslas. We don't have to like the way that he's doing it. We don't have to agree with the way that the states are allowing him to do things that we can't do under franchise laws. We don't have to like any of that. But you know what we need to do is we need to study, because the dude's onto something. He doesn't advertise like we do. He has people advertise for him. He's already created a cult following, people that will not drive anything but a Tesla, people that will wait 6 months, 9 months, 12 months for their vehicle to arrive, people that will buy cars without ever driving a single one of them. He's created brand loyalty. He's created conversations online that go viral every single time he speaks. Study what he's doing. Extract what you can. Apply into your dealership. We have to watch our worthy rivals. Now, your worthy rivals are not just the Teslas and the Carvanas. Obviously, you have other dealerships. Other dealerships, not just in your market. Don't compare yourself only to the guy down the street. Compare yourself to the largest dealerships in the nation. Compare yourself to the big players down in parts of Florida, big players in parts of New York, the big players in parts of California, all around the country. Compare yourself to the other dealerships. Study them. Analyze them. What moves are they making? What tools are they using? How are they utilizing their staff? What type of marketing are they doing? Study. And if you're like, well, Glenn, I don't have access to a lot of that stuff. Well, you have access to a guy who does. Be glad to help you in any way, shape, or form that I possibly can. It's what I'm here for. But you can't take the time to study if we're just worried about the finite game, what we're doing today, making decisions, head down, desking deals, moving cars, handling heat cases. This is what I'm trying to tell you. If you don't build an exit strategy, which we're going to dive into a little bit more, you're so busy head down doing the work, buying the cars, appraising the cars, and doing all of that you don't have time to study the worthy adversaries. And you're going to be great for a week, for a month, maybe even for a year. But there's one day you're going to look up and the whole opportunity has passed you by because you weren't paying attention. You're sweeping it under the rug. You want to ignore it. No more. No more. It's time for you to step into your opportunity. It's time for you to step into your greatness. You were called into this industry for a reason. And it's time for you to go out there and do something about it. There are people out there making moves. Let's watch. Let's study. Let's learn. Let's mirror and mimic where we can. Let's serve these customers the best way we can possibly serve. And please know and understand that your worthy adversaries, they're not just people in the car business. There's other industries, there's other businesses, there's other technology that you need to be keeping an eye on. And I'm here to help you do that. The fourth part of the infinite game is to prepare for existential flexibility. Now, I know these are big words, right? Existential flexibility. What does that mean? Let's break it down. Existential flexibility means this. It is the ability of an infinite-minded leader, that's you, an infinite-minded leader, to initiate a disruption to a strategy or business model in order to advance a just cause. Now, needlessly to say, this would involve risk and be beyond the realm of a finite-minded leader who would be more comfortable with the status quo. The ability of an infinite-minded leader, that's you, to initiate a disruption, something outside the norm, something that disrupts the current pattern, disrupts the current flow, goes against the grain. That's what a disruption is. It cannot be a continuation of what you already do. It cannot be an extension of what you already do. It has to be a disruption, an opposite direction. We in this industry like to add extensions and say it's a disruption. We like to add an online purchasing tool that actually is just a lead generator. We like to say we can do certain things a certain way, but in the reality, we want to pull you back into our dealership, sit you down in the showroom for 4 hours, and have you go through the same process we've been going through for 100 years. That is not a disruption. Putting a calculator on your website is not a disruption. It's not. Now, creating a seamless system that is exactly the same, whether you're in home or at home in your pajamas wearing your socks, or you're in my dealership, and either way, you can buy a car through the exact same process, and it's going to go like this. Now, that's what I'm talking about. Where it looks absolutely nothing like what you've been doing. Now we're talking disruption. The ability of an infinite-minded leader, that's you, to initiate a disruption to a strategy or a business model in order to advance a just cause. not in order to advance the profitability of your dealership, not in order to advance the volume of cars that we sell, but to advance the just cause. Now, this is hard to do if you don't even know what your just cause is. Do you see how these pieces all come together? Now, you're probably like, Glenn, you're yelling at me. I don't like being yelled at. I'm yelling at you because I love you and I believe in you. I know you have what it takes. I know you have what it takes. But as it says, when we talk about existential flexibility, it would involve risk and would be beyond the realm of a finite-minded leader, which is not you. It's all of the people around you, right? The other dealerships are finite-minded, not you. It would involve risk and beyond the realm of a finite-minded leader who would be more comfortable with the status quo. My hope is that you're sick and tired of the status quo and that you are ready for major change and transformation, that you're ready for a revolution in your dealership, and that you're ready for a disruption. I hope that not just because it would look good for me. I hope that not just because it would look good for you. I hope that because it is going to be required in order for you to both thrive and survive in the upcoming years. I'm not trying to speak all foreboding. The industry is being upended right in front of our faces, and you are either going to rise with the tide or ultimately get destroyed by the waves. Just facts. The choice is ultimately yours. The fifth part of the infinite game is to demonstrate the courage to lead. You're going to have to demonstrate the courage to lead if you want to continue to win and grow in an infinite game. Now, courage is such a powerful word, and it applies in so many different ways, right? Courage is a mindset. Courage is a choice. Courage is something that takes discipline and hard work. Courage is something that is developed over time. Courage is a way of life. Courage is absolutely a way of life. Now, here's what's interesting. If you think back to the movie The Wizard of Oz, the cowardly lion wanted courage, and he wasn't able to muster up that courage himself. You see, the courage came once Dorothy was in trouble. Now, all of a sudden, the lion had the courage to be fierce. The lion had the courage to flex its muscles, to share its roar. But it came from an external source. You see, the cowardly lion became courageous because all of a sudden he had a just cause. See how this all ties in? He had a just cause. The just cause was bigger than himself. He was willing to risk his own life to save the life of his friend, the human that he loved. What is the just cause for you that is going to give you the courage and your team the courage to fight in the upcoming years? That's going to give you the courage and your team the courage to accept the disruptions, to lean into disruption, and to expand and grow. Now, most importantly, as we talk about the infinite game and the 5 key components that you have to have in order to win and grow in this particular experience, what's most important, and I think that's left out of this particular slide or graphic, what's most importantly is that you have to have targets to aim at along the way. You have to ask yourself some simple questions. What do you want? Why do you want it? And when do you want it? You see, at the retreat, I told the story of a Navy SEAL. There was a Navy SEAL who was at an event, a conference. Somebody came up to that Navy SEAL and he was telling stories of all the things they had to do in Hell Week and how they were in constant pain for 7 days and they were completely sleepless the whole time and they were pushed to the limits. They weren't fed properly and all the things that it takes to become a Navy SEAL. And along the way, while you're fighting to become a Navy SEAL, there's this bell. And all you have to do is ring this bell and all of a sudden you'll be comfortable. They'll bring you a blanket and some towels and they'll dry you off and they'll hand you some good food and they'll warm you up and they'll do all of the things. They'll pull you out of hell and put you into a space of comfort. They'll bring you into a space that's very heavenly. And all you have to do is ring the bell. No one's going to give you any grief about it. No one's going to argue with you. They're going to accept your quitting and ringing the bell, right? And so as he was telling this story, an audience member asked him a question. And the audience member said, I would love to think that I'm the type of person that would never ring that bell. But there's something inside me that says that I probably would if I was pushed to the limits. How do you become the person that doesn't ring that bell? And when the Navy SEAL was asked this question, he was kind of bewildered by it. His brain just simply could not compute. And after time, he finally responded, and he said this. He said, when I made the decision to sign up for the Navy SEALs, I was either going to become a Navy SEAL or I was going to die. There was no in between. I was going to become a Navy SEAL or I was going to die. You see, he knew what he wanted, why he wanted it, and when he wanted it by. He knew the answer to those 3 questions. Do you? What do you want? Why do you want it? And when do you want it? And then take it a step further and ask yourself, is all of it willing to die for? Are you willing to die for your just cause? Are you willing to die for this thing that you believe in? Are you willing to die for the people that you hire and the people that you entrust and the people that trust in you? Are you willing to die for it? Is what you're building right now in line with that? That which you want? That why you want it? Is what you're building right now in line with those things? If so, you're going to be unstoppable. If it's all in line, if the alignment is there, you are going to be unstoppable. Nothing that can happen out there is going to keep you from reaching levels of success. Nothing at all. Nothing at all. If not, if what you're building right now is not in line with what you want, why you want it, and when you want it, if it's not in line, then it's going to be much more challenging. Much more challenging for you to stay in the infinite game. And so I'm going to challenge you to take some time to really assess. I want you to take some time to quietly, with no one around, go rent a hotel room if you need to. Go create some space. Go for a long drive to nowhere. A long drive to nowhere. Do a big 8-hour drive loop. Stop only for gas stations and restroom breaks. And really take the time to assess quietly and ask yourself those questions. What do I want? Why do I want it? And when do I want it? What, why, and when? And then I need you to get incredibly convicted by that. What, why, and when will give you the conviction that you need to stay in the infinite game. The challenges that you face ahead are many. There are so many challenges ahead. Inventory challenges ahead. Direct-to-consumer challenges ahead. You have employee a mentality challenge ahead. You have technology advancement challenges ahead. You have electric cars challenges ahead. You have larger and more powerful groups coming into your space. You have big corporations. You have performability challenges ahead. You have market shifts that are ahead. You have pandemic adjustments that are ahead. You have weather that is ahead. You have personnel that is ahead. You have so many things between you and the goal. So many things. And with a clear path, and with a clear plan, and with a clear destination, you can navigate those things. You all know how navigation works. You use it all the time. You have your destiny or your location. Where am I now? We get real clear on that first, right? First, you have to know, where am I now? Otherwise, navigation doesn't work. Where am I now? Then we have to put in, where do we want to go? Where am I headed? What is the destination? Where do I want to be? And exactly when do I want to be there? And once you have that, the where you are and where you want to go, and you can attach it to the strategies and integral pieces of the infinite game. Once you have all of that, then the last piece is this. Sharon Lechter, my friend Sharon Lechter and her friend Michelle Tucker wrote a book called Exit Rich. And listen, you may never sell your store or have the desire to do so. But true freedom comes from putting yourself in a position to be able to let go of the daily tasks that you're doing now, or to ultimately sell your store. Just imagine what your life would look like if you weren't getting calls all day, every day from different leaders and personnel in your dealerships. Imagine what your life would look like if there were no desking. You weren't sitting on a desk ever having to work deals, sitting on a desk having to buy cars. Imagine what it would look like if you weren't dealing with daily heat cases. Just imagine what your day would look like if you took away all of the intermediary, the stuff that we're doing right now, if you took all of those things away, and instead you had the time, instead you had the people in place, instead you had the ship being powered and moving forward without you. And you could just focus your eyes on what's next. Imagine what that would look like for you. You see, high achievers seek what's next. That's what they do. The problem is they think that what's next is a number, and it's not. What's next is not a number. What's next is a way of life. What's next is a disruption. What's next is a shift. What's next is a new level of positioning for you and the people that are working for and with you. What's next is a level of leadership and leadership mindset. What's next is a lifestyle. Begin to map out what's next, and you'll start making decisions that will draw that closer. When what's next is just a number, when what's next is just a dollar sign, you'll never be able to truly shift. You'll never be able to truly rally your people. You're never, ever going to be able to go home every day feeling incredibly purposeful. You are a high achiever. We know that. That's why you're in the position that you're in now. But we need to put strategies in places so that you can keep your eyes on what's next for you, your store, and the people within your dealership. Make sense? Fair enough? Fair enough. One of the things that I believe is what's next is the technology we use to engage our people. I really do. And that's why I'm standing behind and really supporting and become a part of and have become a part of this Carrot software. I really do think it's going to be powerful for you. But overall, I think you get the message. That's it. I love you. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.